Now, I wasn't kidding when I said this year, 2021, and we're still yet to do the final video of what the setup will be for this year, as I'm sure many of you already know what's on the platter and what we'll be running. But I did tell you that this year, everything I own will have a power chute on. And I wasn't kidding. So let's see what we got.
I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Now, if you guys have been following along, I told you that Alex over at POWERCHUTE Design and I have been working on a design for the Skag decks. There is not one out there. He didn't have a template for one, and if you watch back in the videos that I've done recently, I've showed that he sent me 2 blank templates, and I had to design that around my Skag V-Ride 2 52-inch deck so that he had a template for him, and he can make them for you guys moving forward. So what ended up happening was, once I bent them and I sent them back to him, for doing that for him, he kept one so he'd have a template so he can continue to make them, and he just went ahead and painted the other one up, put the wiring harness on, the motor on, everything, and sent it back to me as a thank you for doing that for him. I did tell him though, however, I had to put it in order to get the rest of them for the rest of my machines. As you guys know, I've been running POWERCHUTE on the Walker B 56-inch deck for years, and I've been a huge advocate for that. I have spare parts, spare POWERCHUTE motors for them, but I've never had to use them because they just haven't broken on me. So nothing that wasn't my own fault anyway. I did have an issue with one on the Walker B way back when I first put it on. That was my own fault. But normal use, it hasn't broke. So since then, anyway, the Walker B is now gone, and I ordered one from Alex last year for the Toro Grandstand. I put it on there. That leaves me with the Skag V-Ride 2 I needed one for, which, like I said, he sent me one in this box. But I also need one for the new Exmark Laser Z, and I also need one for the new Skag Walk Behind, which currently there wasn't one out for that because it's not electric start, doesn't have a battery. But Alex figured a way around that. So here's what Alex sent in the box. This is the new POWERCHUTE mount, motor, everything ready to go for the Exmark Laser Z X series. Here is the one that I bent up and he painted and shipped it back to me. This is for the Skag V-Ride 2. This here is for the new Skag Walk Behind, much smaller. He was gonna paint it orange, just like this, to match the Skag, the color match, but I told him I wanted to try one in black. I like the idea of the black, and that's just what I wanted to throw on there. So I asked him if he could paint it black for me, and he did. What I meant by he had to custom design this one, you see all these mounts, the electric motor goes back at an angle like that when it's mounted to the deck. Same thing with the Skag, okay? This one here, he mounted it so it kind of comes forward at an angle, but it doesn't stick out far enough to where it hangs out further than the deck. The reason being is because on this new Skag, this small 36 I just ordered, where the deck comes out here compared to where the frame is too close. There's not that distance like there would be on a bigger deck. So he never had a design for this, and what I did was I took pictures of it and held the tape measure up in different spots, took pictures and sent them to him, and he custom designed this one to fit this mower. Also, we had to come up with an idea because, like I said, there is no battery on this. It is a pole start mower. Many people have asked me in the past, can you still use a POWERCHUTE on a pole start mower? As long as it has an electric PTO, there is still a charging system in this mower, and you can tap off of that PTO and pull power. Your POWERCHUTE will just only work when the engine is running, which is perfectly fine because why else would you want to use it? So you can pull power right off the charging system and get your power that way. Now, my Walker B and my Toro Grandstand both have the switch, which they come complete with the kits, the wiring, inline fuse, and it's a waterproof momentary switch. Press one way for it to go down, the other way for it to go up. You can stop it anywhere in between, have it midway open, quarter of the way open. It'll stop anywhere in between and hold there, okay? So that's the design that I had on the Walker B, and I now currently have on the Toro Grandstand. So he sent me 2 of those, but he also sent me, and many of you guys have asked me, is there a foot pedal option like the grass flap? Yes, there is. And here it is. Instead of a one-way press down like the grass flap, this acts as an electric momentary switch, and it's the same thing. You mount it and you press it one way to go up, one way to go down, or you can stop it in between, just like you can with the toggle. So I've never currently used the foot pedal design, but I wanted it, and when I told him to send me one of these as the option for one of these chutes, you can use it. I can flip it. If I decide that I don't like the toggle switch in any one of them, the plug is the same on all of them. I can plug the foot pedal into here, or I can unplug it and plug the toggle switch into there and switch it. If I don't like it, I can do that with any one of them. It's universal. It gives me that option. It's another one of the great features of POWERCHUTE. My main reason for wanting is I want it for the new Exmark Laser Z sit down. That way I don't have to take my hands off anything to flick the toggle switch. It's not a big deal on standards, it's super easy. But there is a way around that as well. He also has these brackets, and you can mount these brackets around any round surface, any round handle, and then it has the hole right there to mount the toggle switch. So you can take that bracket and put it right there if you want to, and have your toggle switch right there. You can put it on any round surface that you want, even square surfaces if need be, but there's just a round bracket in there to mount that. But like I said, I wanted this for the Exmark Laser Z, but what I think I've decided now is I'm going to actually use it on this machine, and I'm going to mount that foot pedal right here or right over there on the side, and then when I'm riding on the Velke, all I have to do is pull one foot off the Velke and just kick that pedal either side, and use that to open and close my POWERCHUTE versus taking my hands off and hitting a toggle switch wherever I decide to put it, or if I use a bracket and mount it up there, I can just use my foot and do it right there. So it leaves the option. There's plenty of options here in different ways you can go depending on what your setup. Now I am always excited for new products, as you guys know, and I'm definitely excited to have POWERCHUTEs officially on every mower that I own, other than the Walker. Obviously it bags grass, there's no side discharge, there's no use. But I'm finally gonna have POWERCHUTEs on everything that I own, and that makes me insanely happy. If you guys know that have been following me for any period of time, go back to my videos if you haven't, and you will see I've literally tried every chute blocker there is. I've used the old Jungle Gyms chute blockers, I've used grass flap, I've used advanced POWERCHUTE, I've used quick chute, I've used them all. And POWERCHUTE by far is my favorite one. It's just hands down the best thing I've ever used, and it's so universal, you can use it on anything. And the other great part about working with Alex is if you come up with something like this that hasn't been done, there's no design for it, nobody else has used it before or put one on here, you contact him and he's willing to work with anybody. He will text back and forth with you, email, whatever it takes, on the phone calls, and he will work with you. He is huge on designing stuff, huge on custom stuff. That's his wheelhouse. That's what he's into. That's his big thing. So he makes these all the time. He designs them. He's doing a great job with what he's doing, what he's putting together. But his specialty is custom design, and he loves it. And so don't hesitate at all to contact him and say, this is what I got, this is what I'm thinking, what do you think? And he will come up with a design for you, and he will make it work for your application. So that's it, and this is just what I wanted to show you guys. There will be videos coming up on installing each one of these. I'm going to do a separate video on all 3 machines. I'll do another overview on the Grandstand. I've already done a video on when I put it on there. I did a video on the Walker B when I put it in there, but I will now have separate videos. One, installing it on here to show you guys how I'm going to do it without a battery setup. I will do another video on the Exmark Laser Z, installing that one. I will do another video on the Skag V-Ride 2, installing that one. So you guys will have, well, it'll be a total 1, 2, 3, it'll be a total of 5 different types of machines I will have installed this thing on, so you guys can get all different ideas, and then some without battery and how you wire that in, and other ones with battery, obviously. And then the difference from standard to walk behind to sit down zero turn. You guys will see all the different ways you can mount it, any type of those machines, and you will now be able to see, which is one of the other main reasons I had Alex send me the foot pedal, is so that I can show how you can use it with a foot pedal as well and not just the toggle switch, which is pretty much the most custom way to do it, the most standard way to do it. But there is the foot pedal option if you do prefer that. And so now I'll be able to show you that as well. So there will be videos coming up on all of that. I know this is kind of a lengthy video. I wanted to cover all this and show you guys all this. The install videos will be much quicker so that you don't get so bored with watching me and listening to me talk. You can actually see what I'm doing there and how to do it for your application. On that note, I'm gonna finish this off with some clips from yesterday. The duelly didn't go as planned, but we had fun doing it, and we are definitely further ahead than where we were. But watch this, make sure at the end you hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to hit. I really don't care, just hit something. Join in the conversation down below. Most people learn from reading the comments and getting everybody else's input and views, not just mine. That's how we learn, that's how we grow together in this lawn care community. So definitely join in the conversation down below. Let me know what you think, and if you guys are interested in this POWERCHUTE at all, or any products they sell, he doesn't just sell the POWERCHUTE, he has other items there. Go on his website, POWERCHUTE Design, use code Countryside10 and save yourself 10%. I get absolutely nothing out of this, okay? You can speak to Alex himself. I do not get a kickback for any of this at all. It's simply a code for you guys to save 10%. It does nothing for me, okay? It's only for you guys, so you're not helping me out, you're not benefiting me, but if you want to save some money, use it. If you don't want to save some money and you want to pay full price, and go full price. I really don't care, but it's there to help you out. But like I said, if you have anything or any doubts of whether or not it'll work, contact Alex. He will work with you. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Watch this, I don't know, duelly video? I don't know, just go watch it. So here we are back to the duelly, and look at that, the intake's missing. So anyway, what we figured out, and by we, I mean that guy and that guy figured out, is that the intake gasket was leaking, and that may have very well been the problem all along. However, I feel it has been a big series of problems, and some of the stuff we replaced probably didn't need replaced, but a lot of stuff definitely did. A lot of parts were original. This is a 95 with 143,000 miles, I believe, around this thing now. So yeah, a lot of stuff definitely needed change. That timing chain was flopping like a string in the wind, so without a doubt definitely needed done. Here is the intake now. Wyatt cleaned it all up, got it all ready, prepped, good to go. And now Buddy Dan here he's got everything cleaned up over here and starting to put the gaskets on front and back. They come with rubber gaskets for the front and back.
You don't have to do both. You're supposed to do either silicone or the rubber gaskets, but I figured why not do both?
Yeah, it's not going to hurt.
Can't really be too safe.
So the intake's back on, and Buddy Dan over here is putting all the bolts back in and just snugging them, and then we're going to let it sit for, what'd you say, about an hour or two?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. We're going to let it sit, and then we're going to come back through and torque everything down, and then go from there. And then if it starts up and it runs and it's fixed, we'll let it run for a few minutes, get everything flushed through. Then we're going to flush this whole coolant system right out, and we are going to dump the oil and filter, flush that out too. And
do some burnouts.
Then what are we going to do, Wyatt?
Some burnouts.
That's right. So we're going to go out on the road and we're going to light them up just to make sure this thing is running top notch.
Ready for Billy to drive mowing truck trailer.
Yeah, ready for Billy to run the mowing truck trailer. Hey, Buddy Dan.
Yeah.
Say hi to my daughter. Say hi, Jersey.
Hey, Jersey.
She says, I don't believe that you hang out with Buddy Dan. He went to school just ahead of me, and he's almost my age, and it's weird, Dad.
Yeah, I like hanging out with adults. They're more fun. Kids are stupid.
Did you hear that? He called me an adult. And you guys that have been following me for any long period of time, I'm not so sure you'd agree with that. It is what it is, right? Okay, so the intake is all back on and everything is snugged up, bolts in all the way around. The torque is 35 foot-pounds for all these bolts. We're gonna let this set up for, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. These boys are hungry, so we're going to eat. I'm gonna take them and feed them, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna torque this down, put everything back together, and fire up and see what happens. Only time will tell. You got a lot of faith, don't you, buddy Dan?
I got a lot of faith. I got a lot of faith.
What about you, Wyatt?
I don't want it.
Well, you got a lot of faith, Wyatt? Wyatt's excited. He just wants it to start because he wants to take it out on the road and light up the tires. And you know what? If this thing does start and it runs and the problem is fixed, I'm saying it here now on camera, Wyatt gets to light them up first.
Hell yeah.
So Wyatt can take it out and light them up on the street, and he gets first.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to do a burnout. Yes, I do.
So I'm saying it here on camera, Wyatt gets first burnout. And if it happens, you'll see that toward the end of this video. That's how we'll close it out. I'll let it play, and then I'll go back in and I'll slow-mo it, and you can see Wyatt's burnout. Okay, so we went neat, and I introduced Buddy Dan here and Wyatt over here to what is known as the breakfast bowl in this local little greasy spoon we have in our town.
Oh,
and what'd you boys think of that?
It was so fantastic.
Yeah, they're hooked now. But if you notice, and I'll do a little pan around the shop here. See? All the way around. What don't you guys see here? Spencer Lilly, that's what you don't see here. Because he hasn't shown up yet this morning when he was the one saying that nobody would wake up and we were gonna be doing this job late, and he was supposed to be here helping us. And he's been out screwing around spending money all morning. He did, however, show up at the restaurant to get breakfast. And then still he's not here. He was supposed to come down here, and I think he went home and took a nap, but he's still not here. So anyway, we are, now that this has been setting up a while, Buddy Dan is torquing down all of these intake bolts, and we're gonna start putting the rest of everything back together and find out if Wyatt over here gets to go out on the road and light them up. So time will tell.
I say go until it's at the mark. What's wrong?
All right, well, Randy left. I think he's getting lunch.
We just ate.
Oh no, he's
We're
getting
huge.
Not for me, for him. Again, he left his camera here, so I'm taking over the channel. The problem that they got here now is
You don't have a problem. You have a problem.
they have a problem, and they just won't admit it. They don't know how to get this engine back in time because nothing's in place. And they didn't time it before they took
how to
it.
get it back into time. It just takes a minute. You gotta go back to your shop.
It just took them 5 minutes to figure out their plan. But rather than timing it before they took it apart, which I guess they're supposed to do, I don't know. Why it's going underneath. They got to refucculate this engine.
So we'll start off with saying, look who showed up.
Already been here. You'll see.
Spencer showed up.
see.
Everything is back together as far as we know. Everybody's pretty confident. Me, I'm mediocre right now because I've just been through so much crap with this thing in the last year and nothing has seemed to work. So we will see what happens, but now it's time to fire this thing off and see what happens. So here we go.
You're off.
Damn it.
What's that fuel? There's no fuel in the line.
No, there's gas coming up.
Oh, is there?
I had a 50-50 chance.
Yep.
Well, we had a 50-50 chance of getting the timing on. 180 off. They're gonna fix it. I'm gonna stay here and watch.
We're doing it for about 5 minutes now. We've done it 8,000 times.
The camera's still recording, Spencer?
Yes, ma'am.
Turn her up.
Go again.
That's part of it. You pull it down.
Hold your fire! Right now!